All right. So this is your, oh, come on, right. Your total mass. And then this column here, this is your constant from your equation. Your equation was y equals a x squared. Y was the energy stored in the motion, that's EK, times something. And then the x on your graph was the speed or velocity. I'll just write velocity. And then that velocity gets squared. Okay. So the question really comes down to this: like, what is the question mark? What is the thing that goes there? What is that? Well, look at the columns and compare them and see if you can give me some insights here. And sorry, Purple, I voted you off the island. All right. Like, based on the units, what are we looking at in this column? This number has something to do with mass. Is it the mass? And this is where your love of numbers causes problems, because you're looking at 0.49 and 1.182. You're looking at 0.6 and 1.097. You're looking at 0.83 and 1.497. Like, what roughly seems to be true of those things? Run it by your neighbor quick. In other words, what would I expect the number to be for purple? That's what I want you to try to think about with your friend real quick. What should this be for purple? That's what I should have done. I should have left one of these blank. Let's clean some of this up here. Let's go get rid of some of these digits.
Today's gonna be a good day. No. I don't have Kirkwood anymore.
Do you have your stuff done for?
Yeah.
You do? All of it?
She told us we weren't getting credit if we didn't turn it in.
Really?
Yeah, she said you're doing zeros if you don't turn it in 1/7 and the cross and credit when you since we have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to do our party planning, and she said if you don't turn it in by the end of the third period, you're doing 0. And then for prophecy, she said if you don't turn it in by the end of the period, you're doing 0.
All right. Here you go. I got rid of some of that extra digit fluff for you. What would you expect this number to be for purple? Given that 3.5 goes with 1.6, 1.4 goes with 0.8, 1.4 goes with 0.5, 1.9 goes with 0.9, 1 goes with, we can call that 0.9, 1.1 goes with 0.5, 1.2 goes with 0.6. This probably should be in what ballpark, Bronzy? 1-ish, because this number is roughly what to this? About half of that. Okay, seeing that? I hope. So I don't think that pattern was clear initially, but I think this is indicative of the improved attention to detail in your data collection yesterday. We can see that this is going to end up being the mass over 2, aka half the mass. All right. Dimensionally, that has the same units as our EE equation. So if I borrow this and go back over to the energy cheat sheet, and let's find that spot. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. You go away. All right, try that again. Ooh, that's huge. Can we make it smaller? Come on, man. That's lame. All right, I'll just write it. EK equals mass over 2 times velocity squared. Okay? And if you think about that, so we've got mass times velocity times velocity. This EE, your spring constant, is newtons per meter. And you're taking that times meters squared. And if you keep in mind a newton is a kilogram meter per second squared, if we divide that by meters and then multiply it by meters squared, we're going to get the same units we have up here. Kilogram meters squared per second squared, aka Newton meters. Okay?
For what?
For injury or pain. For the sake of time and not having to do a lab twice, I'm going to propose a thought experiment to try to establish the gravitational interaction injury, if you will. Okay, so let me grab this stuff. Come on, grab it. I'm going to grab that and bring it over here. And scroll. So, we need an equation for EG, for energy stored gravitationally. We can now handle it if we have to calculate the energy and the motion of an object. Okay, we can calculate EK. So, let me throw up a lol for you. And I want you to talk to your neighbor about a situation that would look like this. Can you come up with a scenario where the energy is all in the motion at A and all ends up in the gravitational interaction at B? Okay? Chat with your neighbor quick. What's that going to look like? Design an experiment.
Couldn't tell you. No, y'all have babies. I should have.
I don't know what they're doing. I'm trying to make sure that I just did. What are we doing?
The first one. She's fine, but I would not supposed to
All right, so I'm going to give Fiji the sock here. What are we going to do? What does this look like, this experiment where it all starts out in EK and ends up in EG? If it all ends up in EG, what does that tell you about its velocity in the end? Okay. If it all starts out as EK, what does that tell you about its velocity in the beginning? Not zero, right? If it doesn't have any EG here, but it does here, what does BG need to do with that sock to represent this experiment? PP, what you said? Parth, what you said? Come on, man. You're going to sit by Peyton, and you have to listen carefully for me. Okay? One more time, Peyton. What'd you say, Parth?
Throw it up.
Throw it up. All right, BG, throw it up. Okay? So where is A and where is B here? Run that by your neighbors.
A is
Okay,
going
BG, one more
up,
time for the
B
folks.
is going down.
Okay? Where is A? Where is B? Where did it come from? I hope the 20 violence fans that showed up at the meeting. All right.
Yeah.
So where is A and where is B?
B is going up.
Yeah, A is after it has done what? A is after it has done what?
Left the hand.
Left the hand. B is where?
After it's reached the highest point.
At the top, right? At the top. When it reaches the highest point. Because what's its velocity at the top? 0. Okay? So that would be that experiment. What does the experiment look like if we flip that? Those are great boxes, Howard. Run that by your neighbor. What are we doing here? What's different about this situation? All right, back row, pick up the slack. What are we doing here?
No, it actually has some like
Bunch of back row slackers. All right, front row, pick it up for him. What are we doing?
Really?
We're gonna drop it. Okay. So here it starts out all gravitational.
That's funny.
No, I didn't really.
When is this the situation? Right before, right before it hits the ground. Okay. So here's right after it leaves my hand. That's right before it hits the ground. So I propose this. You carry out some calculations based on velocity versus time graphs. Because you know a little bit about those graphs. It's been a little while. But you know a little bit about, I think you know a little bit about those graphs. You know a little bit about those graphs? Okay. If I drop this thing, where does this graph start? I'd hate to ruin it and put it on there for you, okay? When it leaves my hand, well, what's true of its EK? 0. So I know this thing starts with a velocity of 0, okay? Now, as it falls, this has been a little while. We didn't spend as much time in this unit as we maybe have in years past. What's that velocity versus time graph going to look like, okay? I'm not feeling the love here so much this morning, so I'm going to brighten your day with a little Pear Deck. Yeah, bro. So what I'm going to ask you to do here, what is that one? Why is there a Wingding Wednesday Pear Deck? The English teachers are making snacks for us tomorrow for Teacher Appreciation Day, because that's how, or week, that's how sad our lives are. We have to make snacks for ourselves. Can you have them? Aren't we all?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Hey, we appreciate us.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I didn't know this teacher.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
You should announce it.
Advertise
Yeah.
that.
All right. Is this Upweasel? No, Upzool. UPZWL. I'm looking for you to draw a graph here for this
Yeah,
thing,
we're working as a team.
and I'm gonna make it a little bit specific. What does this look like? Let's grab it here. Boop. Bring it over to this thing. Boop. All right, I'm looking for you to draw the graph. Object dropped from rest and let's have it. Oh gosh. Fall for 4 seconds. Figure out as much about that as you can. Sketch the graph in there, and then I want you to figure out as much about it as you can.
What is this called again?
Sorry, it's Upzool. And why don't you go ahead and grab a whiteboard for your group? We've got some in the back, so just grab some back there maybe. Plenty of markers up here. And once you sketch the graph on Pear Deck, I'd like you to actually go through and see if you can't figure this out. For an object dropped from rest that falls for 4 seconds, what all else can we know in that situation?
It's so hard to write on a computer.
There's a text tool, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's inconvenient.
All right, and if you need a mass for your object, then sum the birth months together for your group. I would be contributing 1 kilogram because I'm born in January. Same. We would have a 2 kilogram object together, but we're not in a group. So
All right, Josh, when's your birthday? What month and what number is that?
27.
July is 7, right? 7. Is July the 7th month?
Bruh.
Why is this stuff so 7 plus 4?
Cause, man.
Tanner, when's your birthday?
December 7th.
December?
7th.
Whoa.
December to remember. So was the kid that walked into school with us today. I don't know why I needed to know that, but he felt the need to tell me.
12 plus 7
friends like to
plus
say that
4.
was two
Someone
tragedies
got
in one day.
12.
What?
My friends like to say it was 2 tragedies in one day because, you know, some Pearl Harbor happened.
I was counting.
In 2001, Pearl Harbor happened?
I was born in 2000. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
2000, okay. Whatever.
No, December 7th.
Remember the 7th of December? Isn't that a thing?
Do you remember? You said you're November.
The 7th day of December.
Yeah.
The best day of Tanner's life. My freaking band is playing at a wedding coming up.
You're in a band.
Oh yeah, that's a known.
No, it hasn't. Did you guys know her?
What kind of band?
A band that plays music that other people write, so we don't have to.
Sing it right
What do you
No, I don't
play?
sing, thankfully.
What instrument do you play?
Guitar.
Really?
Yeah, no, I think I've shredded my throat over the years.
Do you have?
Tanner, you gotta get this shit out from under you.
Hey, say word. You didn't even want to see here. You know, but no.
I already asked him that.
What do you say?
He said physics stuff. God, that song's gonna be so in my head all day.
Beautiful.
We should play that music while we're waiting on your band. Or while we're doing work.
Yeah. Do you have any videos of your band?
Is that it?
Not on me.
Yeah, that's a lie.
You had a band,
Yeet,
like a rap band.
yeet.
You got
Let's
red.
put it
That's
with
the
the
ugliest
eyes.
color.
Fine. I'll go with
That's
your-
okay.
On occasion.
It's ugly though.
No, now I'm in a cover band, so we play Earth, Wind, and Fire. So
What is our name again? Rose.
I'm in a band too.
Our mass is 23 kilograms.
How about if I wasn't a band? That'd be cool.
He gets green.
Artie, is this it? You just supposed to do the velocity versus time, and that's it. You're
what's up?
just supposed to do that.
Yeah, you want to think about what your graph looks like, and then start quantifying stuff. All right, so let's look at what our friends are drawing for graphs. Okay, so look at the variation here. this thing is dropped from rest, think about how that graph starts and how it should go from there. It goes for 4 seconds. Okay?
Oh, shit.
I think you know a little bit else about this graph. If you draw a free body diagram for this object that you drop, and it's got a mass equal to your birth months added together, I think we can come up with some more information that's going to help you with more stuff on this log graph.
3.
The math. I worry about that.
11.
Now my athletic director has to meet with my team and talk about sportsmanship tonight because we've got 2 red cards. And if we were a boys team, we'd be in danger of being disqualified from the postseason.
Really?
Yeah, you get 4 red cards as a team in the season and you can't play in the postseason. But we're not a boys team, so thankfully. Yep.
Don't get any more red cards.
Oh my gosh, dude. The officials are so sexist. That's the problem. Like, watch a high school boys soccer game and then watch a high school girls
I
soccer
know
game.
that. I played soccer. I can't
Shocking.
Wait, so what are we
One of my
trying to
girls got
figure
called
out?
for a foul last night, even though she cleanly, the 2 girls are running for the ball. My girl gets there first and kicks the ball and it goes in the direction she kicked it because the other girl didn't touch it. The other girl ran into the side of her. Foul on us. Like, I figured out the stat based on how much possession we had. They were given a foul for every 4.5 minutes of possession. We were given a foul for every 25 minutes of possession that we had. We had 20 shots, they had 0. Like, you can't tell me we're not attacking and not getting fouled. It was shocking.
That just makes soccer boring when they call so many fouls.
Oh,
Do we know the
freaking me
velocity?
out.
Do we know the velocity?
No.
We don't have a number for it. Do we know the height that the ball is dropped at?
What's up?
Do we know the height that the ball was dropped at?
However high it needs to be dropped from to fall for 4 seconds. So can you draw a free body diagram for this? All right, maybe we need to go there in the pair deck. So hey, friends, in the pair deck, draw a free body diagram for your object. I'd also like you to think about the FU experienced by your object. Free body diagram for your object. What does its FU look like? And if you know what its FU looks like, you know a little something about its acceleration.
I feel like you're having some ideas.
Before with his girlfriend.
Exactly. It's like we're gonna get hockey or something. We'll be back tomorrow.
That means that is 5 seconds. It's 10 meters.
Like, I remember the first time playing little hanging out.
What a year.
Hurt my heart.
A little over a year.
It's
Yeah.
been way over.
No, it's been a little over a year.
Just wonder way over.
Go sit in the cafeteria. They're like, wait, does that guy work? Is he eating with high school kids? Chartreuse.
What's the equation for velocity again?
What's up?
What's the equation for velocity?
Get out of here. Get out of here.
So like velocity.
I don't even know. I don't.
So basically, triangle is 4. Equation for velocity.
Harding, I'm afraid to say I've already clocked out.
This has got to go.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Did you live by Merle? Is it you?
No.
Oh, it's you. But you weren't on the BPA trip. Who lives by you that was on the BPA?
Who's Merle?
Mr. Merle, sorry. No, he had chimed in on our email this morning talking about the positive experience his neighbors has had at the BPA field trip.
Where does Mr. Merle live?
By Josh, who just said. The Weber Hood?
No, this.
Help him. Don't harm him with.
It's just this. It's just this.
Oh, it was like
That's about my life.
Mitch, I'm looking at getting
Because I love Sheila.
and then I'm gonna put a American Muscle
That's at least get a view then. I have a flex.
But like, I want to
Chat for the 2 gram buzz.
2.3 liter.
This is weird.
That
That's
is
the only option.
There are many.
Oh, you mean like a new one?
A newer one. I'm not buying a V8.
It's just the stats aren't there.
Don't buy a Mustang.
2.3 liters actually.
I feel
You
highly
afford
about
to
it.
26.
I do.
You afford that?
Oh my God, yeah, just imagine.
Without a loan?
walking into a-
Alright. So we're on.
That would be like
I don't know,
my
you're not talking
dream.
about buying a 2016 car.
Or like a petty
Finance.
You can do what you want,
I
man.
want to ride a dwarf.
You can ride now.
Every day I
It's
wake
just
up.
gravity. That's
Every day.
Every day
That's
I
it.
wake up. And I'm like, I want to ride.
I don't know what the
Oh, we have 2300.
And it's not every day.
Put it that way.
But one of these
Alright, hang loose, cabooses. So we're all kind of on the same page with the appearance of this graph, other than it's falling, and a lot of you have it going up, but that's okay. Okay, so this thing goes for 4 seconds. It's dropped from rest. This is kind of a key understanding that the slope here on the velocity versus time graph is the acceleration.
Is it for real negative like that?
Well, it is because it's going downward, but we're going to get the same thing out of it regardless. That's okay. All right, so if it's got an acceleration of negative 10 meters per second squared and it falls for 4 seconds, you've got that it's going to have a speed of 40 meters per second. All right, now, hey, we got the velocity of it. You made up a mass for it. You can figure out how much EK it ends up with by taking half the mass times the velocity squared. Now I'm going to throw parentheses around the velocity so you recognize that that's the bit that's squared. So here's the thing. If that's the EK it ends up with, that's got to be the EG that it started out with. Because EG at A has to equal EK at B. Whatever energy is stored in its motion at the end was stored in its gravitational interaction at the beginning. So I propose that we then try to find the relationship between EG and drop height. Because how far did you drop this thing from? That's 4 and that's 40. What's the distance this thing fell here? 40 meters? Figure it out quick. Maybe? Oh, 80. Okay? So this thing fell 80 meters. So I'm going to plot this as drop height. So I'm just going to call that 80 meters. Okay? How much EG did it start out with then? How am I going to figure that out, Mr. Harding? I don't have an equation for EG. Bro. The EG it started out with is the EK that it ended up with. Okay? And you can figure out the EK that it ended up with because you've got its speed and whatnot. So I propose that you and your group go through and carry this out for 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and then create a plot. You're going to have to figure out the height it drops from. You're going to have to figure out how fast it's going in the end. So you can say how much EK it had, how much EG it had. All right? So that's your task. You got 20-ish minutes. Do some math,
They
bro.
made them in foos. They made them in foos.
Honestly, it looks kind of good.
No, it's made in foods. It's not food.
I hate doing this before. I hate doing that.
Yeah, but they definitely are.
I said, I bet if I work more, I can just buy it.
for like
Yeah.
3 seconds.
That'd be a lot.
That would go along with everyone.
Three
I bet if you did it, you would make.
seconds. For this, just like
This is
Where do you
I
work?
bet you would, I bet you make sandwiches.
negative
I bet you make sandwiches.
The one by TJ Maxx?
because
Okay.
don't get
I don't think it's
TJ
better.
Maxx.
TJ Maxx is
You work at TJ Maxx?
I work at TJ Maxx. No.
I said buy TJ Maxx. You're finding the location. Cabbage. You're in Texas.
I used to work.
so like
Dude, I had to deliver a sandwich to like the Harley Davidson next to Texas.
Really? Oh, good.
Dude, that building is lit.
10
Yeah.
plus 40.
There's so many. Dude, there's like
Bro,
hundreds.
I'm gonna order Jimmy John's now. I'm gonna request you.
We start getting $0 tips, and I'm gonna have this from.
Dude, I will give you a big tip.
That. I got an $18 tip from a $30 order.
I'll give you a $20 tip from the $5.
That's
I don't know. Yeah.
450.
The 80.
If you, does anyone know where to?
Oh, you got it. No,
Harding, what are those two parts? I don't even fucking know.
Where's the 80 from?
It's the area of the triangle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you need to not.
But I don't know what to do now.
I don't know.
Oh, this is country.
I'm
Dude, I was having trouble finding a spot this morning. I pulled in. Chloe's ass backed out right.
She left.
I know.
You see what she did? Yeah. So thanks for playing. Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, you're right. At lunch?
Yep. Study room.
With Simon, David, and Chloe too.
Harding and Chloe. But Ben's on.
You felt like, did he not do that?
So it's just me and Gabe again.
Because I did it. I did it no times. I did it. No,
Ben's never here. Chloe never comes to school.
So it's just always being engaged in it.
Yeah, and then we have some like strivers that just like come in. Justin Thomas. Nick fucking sends sometimes. Like, we're lucky. Yeah. I don't know.
It makes it all work. You know, the two small houses that I live in. I'll make a stop by there.
What do you say?
You know, like two small houses. So it was children. So like, we have like this too, right?
We don't even have an option. What? I sit by the shop sign by door every day, waiting for me to come in a little too hot. Door 21.
Oh,
It's a
this
side
is that
door.
one. This is like
Some things is
We don't allow those California shops and stuff. Never mind that then when everybody turns the corner, they just jam on gas and like.
Yeah.
Just try to run over small children in the park lot. Yeah, yeah, all that.
is there
Yeah, but parking lot. Oh, yeah. 35 to the 35. They always do, right? I actually got pulled over 5 times. I got pulled over 5 times last year. You're a donkey. You've grown up there. Like, that's how I feel. It's always for the
I almost got pulled over.
I'm pretty sure it's a house.
I was doing a block party last year and I got pulled over downtown.
you were at a party?
Block party.
Oh, that one party.
It's
Dude, it's like,
What
oh,
are you doing there to tell people?
You've ever seen somebody huff WD-40? Because now I have.
You have?
Yes. One of my friends is just like, oh, we just go back.
Not smart.
He's found like every drug I can think
Who
of
is
except
this?
heroin.
Who's this?
Non-disclosure.
No, that's not smart.
What?
But you can't just tell us
Yeah.
that.
Well, I'm not just gonna like throw him under the bus.
You already did. You just told us his name.
Did he graduate?
He already graduated.
How old is
Was
he?
he the blonde dude?
Ah, there's the John.
Actually, I don't think so.
You just
I think he's
You know the guy who when I took that video for finances for your team to go together.
Oh, that's fake. No.
Interesting.
He's addicted to nicotine, not WD-40.
Same thing.
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
Bro, why does Sam think
She still goes here.
Yeah,
Where's he going to school?
dude, I ran out.
It's actually called Perry Road.
And then he got so he got hit and run, it got wrecked, and he bought another 4-cylinder. Why? Because he's an idiot. He's a car person. It's like a sin.
We buy it on the.
Car person buys a
We buy it
Honda.
on the.
Apparently,
Really?
that's what he did when he had the choice. I was like, yeah, I'll get like a 6-cylinder, like a sports car, or like 2-seater. And he's like, nah, that's lame. Goes and buys a Honda.
Our coach's daughter sing the national anthem this year. Funniest thing of my life. It was so bad. No, but it was good. It
No,
was
wait,
funny.
two to the back.
But it was,
Dude, some prom kids came by the Jimmy John's 5 minutes before he closed.
you know, I'm really upset with
I was
the Jimmy
triggered.
John's actually because they found online.
Oh, the hours.
Yeah.
Dude, apparently everyone suggested the edit, but it never did.
Every time I walk in there, they're like, we're closed.
You guys stream the same
It closes at 10. I think like everyone is trying. Like, so
I would
I
say
haven't
11.
The hours say 11, so I was like, I'm always happy when
Wait,
it's open till 11, and I go to that Jimmy John's and they're not open.
I don't think I know. He was to cook.
Like a Jimmy Johnson.
Order like love things.
Oh, up there.
Just imagine like a Roman gang of teenagers rolled up with like $600,000 in Mercedes cars, and one of them was a gold GTR. And they just like followed that.
They probably keep around.
I don't think so. They were just like they look like vloggers.
That's
Water?
That was my friend.
Actually,
Yeah.
Wait, what?
why are they riding around in like goofy food?
Wrong.
The GTR was raw. Some of those were not raw.
What other?
There was like a terribly done 350Z.
And then
It had like
it's
blue
an
headlights.
That's so bad. That's evil. Why would you say that's evil? That's like a different form of.
Oh, it's like someone changed it.
Like, I don't know. That's like a exactly.
Oh my god, that
I would go.
You used to go here? What is it?
Did he graduate or did he top out?
Did you hear what he said?
So real.
No, he was not good. I like the Chloe scratch. Because you have priorities are showed up when they were just because you have like 9 let's go. Actually,
Really?
I'm gonna keep Brown Boy. I'm not sure what
I saw one.
Yeah,
You
okay,
guys-
I don't know what happened between that because the 414. Let's get 7th and 6th.
What does he do?
I just have to come say hola. Oh, hi, Maria. How you doing? What are you guys doing? Working on physics. Yeah, it's a physics class. We're doing,
I see arrows and I see lines and I see graphs of numbers.
I got one code, bro. Dude, I was there actually when the cop showed us to check on it.
It's like basically when you drop a ball, you're trying to find the.
Because Danny, one of my friends,
Stands
was
for
like right next to him. So actually, I had done I did a trick around the corner that goes into where he lives on street. Like 2 minutes later, he was up and I was like,
Friends, in the pair deck, I need you to input your equation for gravitational energy. That's what I'm looking for you to figure out. Alright? You've got the amount of EK that it has for falling 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. And then what I need you to do is create a graph of EG versus drop height.
and the height.
And from that graph of
remember
EG
these
versus
numbers.
drop height, I'm looking
Is that
for an
usually-
equation
and
for
it's
energy
not-
supported gravitational interaction.
Mr. Bazowski.
I
When
did.
it came to like the crux, the sky.
He was not as close as Mr. Hardy.
And that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah. Well,
And we did not
yes.
get to drop bowling balls.
Or sky, like,
Did you guys get to drop bowling balls or something?
Well, we got to do it, so then he hit this nice pretty like.
Oh, no.
What are we struggling with? What are we struggling to make sense of?
Understanding it. What- I mean, we did everything,
Do we know
but we
the
don't know
equation?
how to
Alright, so we're struggling over here.
Distance is small. Got those. And then what we're looking for here is.
No, and then what we did.
Guys, buy one of these.
You're gonna take that, figure out the equation.
Yeah.
That's the energy. So you plot this graph of energy versus drop height. And you come up with the
And then I
slope
drive through all of the glass, and the cops like.
to get the equation for each.
Did you not see that?
What does EG stand for?
Gravitational interaction energy, the energy things have by virtue of being able to fall.
Catch that. I think
We
I
want to
know.
bird chase, we can drop things on it, right? Try to keep it real plain English.
Can I take credit for helping? Because I think him
My
come over.
What was said, what I-
You got this, guys. You got this.
Actually, yeah. He's brown.
I used to have a little.
Okay, we're talking about action.
That's my favorite.
I went too long. Friends, you got 5 minutes. If you need to use decimals, I'm cool with that. Hey. Use decimals if you need to. But create a graph of the energies, which you calculated, plotted versus the drop heights. Come up with the equation for that graph.
done.
What's
Which is.
We need to hack it.
Because what?
What did you do?
How did you guys do that? I don't know.
You like the sound?
It's just we have the same numbers.
You can tell.
Is this a bunch of numbers I remember came from? I remember.
Bro.
You guys actually.
I got a whole bunch of
No, I have an AP test too.
He was really nice, actually.
Tomorrow, like 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. Like 4 hours.
He's really
I have
nice.
to be here at 7:50.
He is nice.
Yeah.
One in
So
the
why are you
morning,
trying to do
and
this?
then after that, I have to take
I don't know, people don't like
Who told me to take pictures? I don't know.
Okay, I need a calculator. Where did my calculator go?
Good work, guys. Good work. Good work. Drop height. We still got to get this submitted. We still got to drop height.
No, I have to study for it outside.
We got to.
You think I know everything about Keith Brown?
Oh, I forgot.
I don't even know who Trey is.
Why are you reminding me? Thursday.
You know, it's all Trace McCann.
Yeah.
You see all the story when he's going to you always see the lead.
Yeah.
Are you there yet?
Get a
You
number
got
on
3
Trey.
minutes. I'm looking for you to plot a graph in decimals if you need to. But I need an equation for your line of EG versus drop height.
You want me to do that again?
I'm just gonna.
Alright, so this is the energy.
I need a marker. I need a marker.
The equation we have for EG is based on this graph. What is the slope of the line?
You know what's good? I'll go by myself. That's fine.
So how do you get this? You got it from here. How do you get
So what is your equation now?
It's y equals 230x, and 230 was.
Oh yeah, that's what ours is.
That's right.
Which is.
Oh, we got it? Nice.
So you're running your.
Shout out
But we don't have this stuff.
It's the answers.
Screwed up.
Oh.
So hey, a graph of EG versus H, it's a line. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. What's x? What's the m for this thing? You were gonna write a general form equation.
We're gonna go by 5,000.
We need I don't want to.
So how do we get that number to?
You want to get this?
Okay. How do we get that
Yeah,
number?
as I got killed yesterday.
What?
Times.
Jack and Bob.
Slider.
Your slope of mass times 10
Aiden, you make gonna make a
times
sound
x.
What day is it?
June 1st.
So mass times 10
I mean,
times
that
height
is very
is
easy.
equal. So that's what I'm looking from you for.
It'd be interesting.
This one's one of
Yeah.
I'll be in Colorado. I will be in Colorado. I don't know how to plot these.
Enjoy your boys in the back, bro.
10, 20, 30, 40.
Josh, just let me
Why am I
know.
only going to
I'll
40?
pick up it.
Yeah, we'll pick up
I
this
just
tomorrow.
can't really give in to you because like we don't know. Yeah.
The bell rings. Someone took our board away.
Is it stow it away or is it clean it?
Stow it. No, we put it back there. We stow it.
Yeah, at the block party though, I was.
Word. Oh, because it's recording. It's been recording this whole time. One time I wrote it orange.
If not,
Have you ever taken one of those tests where like you're so
Supposed to
hard?
be what it is, bro.
That's how they do the questions.
Which is your.
Oh, really? I was like, they were like green and it's yellow. I'm like, green? Yellow? Red?
okay, we'll come to you.
Last year.
Harding, we shouldn't erase these, right?
What?
She's asking about when I got a profession.
You ready? Oh, from the cheerleading? You better now?
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Have a good day.
Laters. Yeah, it'll work.
Alright, awesome. I'm gonna need a note saying that I didn't like skip school, but to my band teacher.
Okay. Which med?
Um,
Okay, I need help.
awesome. Thank you. See you for now.
E.
you trying to just? When Chrissy comes. But if I have to make those walks.